Hi everyone, Michelle here, and welcome to the DailyM. You know, as a business owner, there are some people that I actively listen to that inspire me. And one of them is Malcom Gladwell. So if you're a business owner or just in anything that you do, you need to have people out there that you listen to. The reason why I like Malcom Gladwell, he is the author of Tipping Point, David and Goliath, Outliers was popular. I saw him at a speaking series and he talked all about this woman, Alva, who had a lot to do with women's rights. But it was his perspective that I loved the most. Even in his books, if you've read any of his books, he has an interesting perspective. So he's someone that I follow. So I encourage you out there to make sure that you have some people that inspire you, that you follow. One of the things, I wrote a paper on Malcom Gladwell, but one of the things that he brought up, which was so interesting, is he recalls playing board games with his family and being so frustrated using the instructions to try and learn how to play the game. The directions and drawn out diagrams lacked the most important piece, which was the point of the game. So this might have been an off-the-cuff remark in the story that he was talking about, but it was so interesting as it was so simple and so often missed in what we do in our world today. So the next few days I went about thinking all day long, what's the point? What's the point of me doing this? And you know what? You do it in the yoga room too. Right? Like in your practice, you know, what's the point of having water? What's the point of the pose? What's the point of the environment that you're in? What's the point of the teaching style? What's the point of breathing? So good stuff. Like, what is the point? So Malcom is someone that's near and dear to me. And then recently I bought his masterclass. It's 24 sessions on insights on how he writes. And he had a tidbit of information that I thought was so interesting about how he does research, that he doesn't bother using Google. Because remember, Google will populate and you know the topics come up on the ones that are the most read. So he's like, well, why would you write about something that's already being read? So what he does is he goes to the library. So I'm going to give you an example, like cortisol, which is very interesting, a hormone that we all need, and as it relates to yoga. Now remember, yoga is thousands of years old. So if I wanted to do research on cortisol, according to Malcom, who inspires me, I would go to the library. And when I go to the library and I find topics on cortisol, what Malcom does and what I would do now is go to 10 books to the right, 10 books to the left, and gather information that relates to cortisol. And if there was a book that I really liked, I would go into the footnotes and go back and look at older books. Because remember, yoga, thousands of years old. What were they talking about with cortisol before? Making the topic more interesting, more comprehensive, more satisfying, more knowledge. So practices that I think that I learned from someone that inspires me. So as a business owner, or again, in anything that you do, right, find people out there that inspire you. By the way, Malcom Gladwell is one of the top 100 most influential people in our country. Isn't that cool? So, Malcom Gladwell, maybe look him up. Thanks everyone for listening.